Hello guys, welcome back. So in this session, we'll talk about fiscal year variant. We are in basic setting itself. So in basic setting, what we have seen in previous session, we have seen posting period variant. What is the use of posting period variant, guys? That we have seen. It is going to control the transaction posting, right? In a sense, we can restrict the transaction posting for a particular period. And apart from this, few more things were there that I have already explained in the previous session. Now, the next setting we have to do is posting period variant. So what is this posting period variant, guys? So again, now here, let me open the Excel sheet. So these are the things which we have seen in the previous session. Just let me close, delete this now. So here we are going to talk about posting period variant. Sorry, not posting period variant. We are going to talk about fiscal year variant. Fiscal year variant. What is this? First of all, we'll see, and then how to set up. We'll see that. Okay. Now, this is also pretty important, guys, and there are certain questions which can be asked by people during interview. So this is also important. Now, and again, if you talk about the configuration part, configuration can be covered in just few minutes only, but multiple things are there to see, right? So if I'm going to explain those things, it takes time. So okay, so we have to see the things in details. Now, fiscal year variant, as I said, when you talk about Tata Motor, right? So Tata Motor means we have created a company code, right? If we talk about enterprise structure, guys, so the here creation of company code, okay, creation of company code is a mandatory setting. You must have to create a company code, right? In the sense, existence of Tata Motor must be there. Creation of company is optional. I mean to say group company, right? If Tata Motor is only one entity, if there is no further subsidiary, right? If Tata Steel is not there, Tata Chemical is not there, then Tata Motor is not at all a group company, right? If Tata Chemical is there, Tata Steel is there, Tata Hotel Group is there, then only we can say that yes, it is a group company in the sense Tata Group, right? If a single subsidiary is there, in that case, only one, what is a subsidiary in the sense only one unit is there, right? So it is not a group company. In that case, only company code is going to be created. There is no need of creating the company in the sense group company creation is not required. Okay, so company code is created. Now, the next one is business area. Creation of business area is also not a mandatory thing here. This is also optional, right? It, as I said, like it depends upon the reporting. If micro level reportings are required, then we are going to set up, right? But creation of business area is optional. Creation of company is optional, but creation of company code is mandatory. Why? Because later on, what will happen, guys? There will be a topic called financial statement version. What is the use of that topic? So that is a configuration, guys, right? So here a financial statement will be generated with the help of that configuration, right? So generation of financial, in the sense generating the financial statement for a particular organizations, of course it is a mandatory things. And at which level this financial statement is going to be generated? let's suppose you are an investor. You are going to, or you're planning to buy certain share of a particular organization. So before buying, people will have some analysis of the financial statement of that company, right? They will, this is how people will come to know that, okay, what kind of performance is there of that organization, right? So at which level the financial statement will be generated, guys? For every company, at which level? So at that, like Tata Motor level only financial statement is going to be generated, right? For Tata Motors, separate financial statement will be generated, right? For Tata Steel, separate financial statement will be generated. Financial statement means with the help of financial statement, you can come to know what is the profit and loss of these organizations, what is their total expenses, revenue, assets, liability, right? These are all things you will come to know. Financial statement is the combination of profit and loss account and balance sheet, right? Okay, we will not go in those details right now. Okay, now here, so we'll see in details uh, later. And I know, like like some of you are from finance background, some of you are from non-finance and account background. So my most of the explanations, whatever is there, guys, it will be on. So this will be in terms of mathematical calculations. So things will be quite easy. And even I know, like people from finance and account background also, like mostly if you talk about the accounting entries or finance related, what to say, understanding. So after examinations and all, once they finish the exam, then most likely people are going to forget lots of things, right? So don't worry, guys, the things are going to be very simple. And whatever the later on, because multiple topics are going to be covered, multiple calculations will be there, multiple transactions will be there, but these all things will be explained in terms of like tax related configurations also will be there, right? So it will be there in terms of mathematical calculations, right? And I expect that everybody, whether you're from finance background, non-finance background, whatever it is, but mathematics means till 10th, everybody 10th class, everybody's are going to study this mathematics and so, and also there should not be any problem in terms of these calculations, and that too calculations are going to be pretty simple. So here we need to understand the logic, right, behind each and every configurations. So now we are talking about, we are going to talk about fiscal year variant. Company code we have set up. Now this posting period variant we have set up, fiscal year variant. So when I talk about Tata Motor, right? Tata Motor means that is created already as a company code. Okay, the next question was like when you post a particular transactions. So those transactions are like those transactions belongs to a particular financial year. Those transactions belongs to a particular month, right? So those transactions are belongs to part for a particular month, and this month belongs to a particular financial year, right? Okay. So if you talk about financial year, which financial year it is, whether it is like 2021 or 2023, right? In which financial year? So first of all, we are having two different kind of financial year, guys, right? Two different kind of financial year. I'll tell you here. One is called calendar year. Okay, calendar year, right? Another one is called non-calendar year. I'm just typing in shortcut, guys, so don't look at the spellings. Okay, financial year means calendar year and non-calendar year. What is the difference between calendar year and non-calendar year, guys? Pretty simple. We all know very well, right? Calendar year and non-calendar year. Okay. So what is the difference between calendar and non-calendar? Can anybody explain here? What is the difference between calendar and non-calendar year, guys? Anyone?
Calendar year is from Jan to December, and non-calendar is from April to March.
Okay, good. So simple guys, calendar year means Jan to December. Non-calendar year is multiple, not only April to March, even we are having other non-calendar year also, depends upon country to country, right? Certain countries are going to follow April to March, certain countries are going to follow July to June, even we have like
Yes.
October to September, right? Okay, so different non-calendar years will be there, right? So first of all, if you have a look on the definition of this is posting period variant, right? And fiscal year variant is going to be explained now here. So first of all, what is happening, guys? Fiscal year, right? So-called financial year. Fiscal year, financial year, both are same, right? Is a time period which is used to prepare the financial statement in an organization. It's okay. Like when you talk about, this financial statement, right? So financial statement is going to be prepared for a particular financial year. Okay. Now, with the help of fiscal year variant, SAP determine whether the financial year is calendar year or non-calendar year. So here there is certain challenges. What challenges, guys? Now, first of all, which financial year is going to be used? Are we going to use calendar year? Are we going to use non-calendar year? Okay. So how SAP will come to know whether we are going to use calendar year or non-calendar year? That is the first question, right? Okay. Now here, the next one is, okay. So here, first of all, whether we are going to use calendar year or non-calendar year, right? Okay. If you talk about calendar year, okay. So let's suppose mm, we are having like, I'll just do one thing. These are the month. These are the months, right? Okay. Now here what is happening, guys? If it is calendar year, then it is pretty simple for SAP also to identify for which period the transactions are going to be posted. Right? Period, I mean to say whether it is first period or second period. When I say first period, it means first month, second month, third month. So if we are going to follow calendar year means, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make it a bit smaller. Okay. So here, calendar year, non-calendar year. So calendar year means just you cut it and paste it here. So calendar year means we all know that Jan to December. Jan to December, right? Okay. So Jan to December, when we are going to follow this Jan to December, then what happened, guys? It is like, make it like this. Okay. So January is the first period, second, third. So here there is no problem. Where is the problem? Okay, the problem is when we are going to use non-calendar year, right? when we are going to use non-calendar year. So what is the challenges for non-calendar year? Let's suppose. So now if you talk about April to March, this is a non-calendar year, right? Okay, April to March. Now, so here April to March means in non-calendar year, what is happening, guys? Non-calendar year means generally in our daily, our whatever this normal daily life is there, in that everybody throughout the world, we are following calendar year, right? When I say today is like, let's suppose 9th of August, right? So 9th of August means it's a calendar year and the same date is there throughout the world, right? Throughout the world in the sense, I mean to say, uh, there'll be like different time zones are there, right? So there'll be differences of some 6 hours, 7 hour, 8 hours differences will be there in the time zone and all. So maybe somewhere it is 9, somewhere it is 8, whatever it is. But I mean to say, as per the time zones and all, so it is like everywhere we are following calendar year itself. Okay. But if you talk about companies, so companies, so here companies are following a different financial year, right? Okay, based on the country. So here in India, let's suppose April to March. Not only India, multiple countries are following this non-calendar year, or is even July to June, or October to September. Okay. Now we'll take example of one non-calendar year, and then we'll proceed further. I'll quote example of other non-calendar year also. Why? Because we have to. I have to explain one more thing. So April to March, it means the financial year is going to be started from April month onwards, right? Now here there will be a challenges for SAP. I'll tell you. So in when you define fiscal year variant, so with the help of fiscal year variant, when it is calendar year, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple to define calendar year, and it's pretty simple for SAP also to understand the calendar year. Okay, don't need to go for any additional settings for this one. I'll tell you guys. When you talk about, okay, let me do one thing. Let me open this SAP. Now in this server, our settings configurations are there. Now here, I think OB29 is the transaction code for this fiscal year variant. Okay, it is taking a little bit time, guys. Okay, now, so here, when you have to, like, let's suppose if we have to define a fiscal year variant in the sense, so here what happened, you can click on new entry and we are going to give a 2-digit code. Let's suppose I'm going to give TT or TX. Okay, so for fiscal year variant, let's suppose here you can give April to March. Okay, and what is happening, simply you have to specify here calendar year, number of posting period, you can specify 12 posting periods. Okay, now, so if you apply a check mark and then if you press enter, I think TT is already there, so can we give T2? This is also already there. Can we give TX? Okay, this code is unused, right? See at bottom when the error is appearing, what does it mean, guys? That code is already used by someone. Okay, so you have to give a different code which is unused. Okay, that is the logic. So here calendar year, when you have to define a calendar year, simply we have to apply a check mark here. That's it, nothing else. So automatically SAP will come to know that starting period is January and it is going to be ended to December. Where is the challenges? The challenges are there when you define a non-calendar year. When you are going to define a non-March, this notification. Okay. Okay. When we have non-calendar year, why? I'll tell you. In non-calendar year, we have to go for further settings. Why? Because here the starting period is first. First one is the starting period, right? Now here, so from first, second, so till December, it is ninth period, right? So let's suppose, okay, one more thing is there. When you talk about like, let's suppose this calendar year, then you can say it is 2022, right? When you talk about non-calendar year, then for non-calendar year, it is 22 itself, but generally it is going to specify here in this way, 22, 23, like that. Okay, this is the financial year. Why? Because look at here, certain periods, these are the periods belong to 22, right? And when you talk about the 10th period, 10th month, right? 10th period, this January of which month, guys? 23, right? It is pretty simple, guys. Okay, so it means when you talk about like 22, financial year 22, so it is already started. Calendar year, as per calendar year, January onwards. But for non-calendar year, April to March, so the first month, the first period is going to be started from April 22. It means the 22, actual 2022 is started from where? It is started from April month onwards. So April month is the first period of their 22, in the sense like, let's suppose we specify like 22, 23, that is a different thing. But here again, that what is the fiscal year, guys? Let's suppose 22 itself. So 22 is going to be started, 2022 is going to be started from April onward, April 22 onward, right? So of course, then till December 22 itself, right? And okay, this 2022 is there till December. And even next year, January is going to be treated as a 10th period of 22. Next year, February is 11th period of 22. And next year, March is 12th period of 22. Right? Even though the actual, if you talk about this actual, what to say this one, right? So January, February, and March. So these 3 months, actually, it is falling in next year, right? Next year, in the sense it is in 2023. But since we are using non-calendar year, that is why what is happening, guys? That is why these 3 period also is the part of 2022 itself. Okay, so here it is bit confusing for SAP. Okay, now, so I'll tell you, this is related to your posting period variant. How it is related to posting period variant, guys? I'll tell you. Now, if we talk about the posting period variant, let's suppose I said like here posting period variant, and then we are having, okay, from period, okay, let's suppose from period 1, then year, and to period and then year, right? Okay. Then you will be having from period to and other things. Okay. So generally period open and close here itself, let's suppose we are going to use now. So let's suppose our posting period variant. This is the code. Generally, while defining, we have given TM22 itself as a posting period variant. It's okay. Now here, this is the code I am given from period. So now what is happening, guys? It is so someone just tell me, guys. Now here 2022. We are in 2022 itself. Okay. When we follow for Tata Motor, if we are going to follow April to March, then which period supposed to be open here? What is the current period? Someone tell me, guys. Which is the current period?
Fifth.
Yes. Now look at here, guys. We are in August. So as per calendar year, it is 8th. But when we use non-calendar year, then it is 5th period is running right now. August equals to 5th period. Why? Because our first period is going to be started from April onwards. Right? So August is the 5th period. Okay. Try to understand this, guys, because when I have to cover the calendar year, the configuration is pretty simple, right? If you have to become a consultant, then don't think about the simple configurations. This is where the people are facing the challenges and all. Because as a faculty, if I have to, complete this entire session that in a very like early as soon as possible, then of course we are going to follow the calendar year. Nothing much to do. Then there is nothing much to learn over there, right? But how you guys are going to become a consultant? So, of course, in fiscal year also there are a lot more things to see, but those things you guys are going to see only if I set up non-calendar year. Okay, and non-calendar year, no matter whether it is India, whether it is UK, whether it is US, Australia, anywhere it can be like because if you talk about the companies or it's like other European countries and all, right? So it could be like anywhere it is applicable. So if the companies are, let's suppose, uh, or like let's suppose if you got an implementation project where the people are saying that okay, we are using let's suppose October to September, that is non-calendar year. Okay, so how it is going to be set up? Okay, now in this there is one interesting setting is there, that is why I'm explaining these all things in details now. So I said here this is the 5th period. So if you have to control, right, if you have to open the current period, which period we are going to open, guys? We are going to open 5th period. Okay, we are going to open 5th period. So 5th period of which year, guys? Of course 22 itself, because our financial year is actually 22 itself. We specify 22, 23. Why? Because certain periods are falling under which year, guys? So this April of 22, right? This is in 2022, right? So these all months are belongs to 22. And December, after December next year January, actually it is falling in 23, right? February and March, it is in 2023, right? But since we are using non-calendar year, so here till December only 9 months. So a particular year, whether it is calendar year or non-calendar year, what is happening, guys? It belongs to total how many? So total it is going to be of 12 month, 12 period. So remaining 3 periods are falling in next year, right? In next year, in the sense in 23. Okay. But so now here what is happening? You just have a look. So 5th period I have open. Okay. Now, so if we are using like, let's suppose if we are in November month, right? So November month means which period I'm supposed to open, guys?
8.
8th.
Yes, 8th period we have opened. Okay. So 8th period and year will be 2022. Now someone tell me guys, January, which period and which year supposed to be open?
10th and 23.
23.
Repeat again guys. What you said, 10th, I
10
can
and
understand.
2023.
23. That is the reply from Lakshmi. Any other response guys?
10th and 23.
23 only. I'll
Yes.
tell you guys, it is not 23. 10th. 10th. It's okay. But your financial year is still 22 itself, guys. How can we open 23? Right? 23 is there as per calendar year. But as per non-calendar year, is it 23? No, it is 22 itself. The financial year, it is 22 is going to be closed where? The March, right? 31st March of 2023. Actually, as per calendar year, 31st March 2023, what is happening? This 22 is going to be finished. It is going to be over, right? And 1st April 2023 onwards, generally again 1st April 2023 onwards, the new year is going to begin, right? So before 1st of April, in the sense till 31st of March, 31st of March 2023, actually this 22 itself is running, right? First of all, a clarity must be there. So the thing is, year is not 23, actually we are in 22 itself, because one financial year means what guys? 12 months will be there, right? So 9 months is completed here. From April till December, 9 months is completed, right? And what about remaining 3 months? So remaining 3 months has fallen here in next year, January, February. See, I'll tell you guys whether, so whatever the financial institutions are there, whether it is banks or corporates or organizations, right? There it is going to be followed. Okay. So as I said, understanding calendar year is very simple, right? Understanding non-calendar year, that you have to put more and more stress to understand this one. Why? Because now you are having challenge. What challenge, guys? Here we are having challenge. This one you have to understand. So I said that when you talk about when we are going to post a transaction, right? When you post a transactions. So while posting the transactions, what happened, guys? Let's suppose during transaction posting, you're going to give posting date. While posting in transactions, we have to specify a posting date. Now, let's suppose the current period. Current period means we are in 5th period. So when you, situation number 1, post a transactions. Let's suppose this is the date we have given. This is the date we have given, right? So whenever transactions are going to be posted, guys, transaction will be posted against a particular company code. Okay. Now SAP is going to find out that this transaction is posted for which company code. So this transaction is going to be posted for Tata Motor. So Tata Motor means TM22. That is our company code. This is our company code. CC means company code. Okay, so the transaction is going to be posted against TM22. Now, posting date is 9th of August. So SAP is going to check. Okay, 9th of August. So now what is happening? What fiscal year variant we are going to use? Okay, so what we have to do? you have to define a fiscal year variant. Let's suppose we have defined a fiscal year variant, and this fiscal year variant, that is like, let's suppose TX. This fiscal year variant is going to link with your company code. That is, company code is TM22. This TM22 is nothing but our company code, right? So fiscal year variant we are going to define, and that is going to assign to the company code. So when you post a transaction, while posting a transaction, you must have to specify your company code, that this transaction belongs to Tata Motor or Tata Steel or Tata Chemical, right? So company code we have given. Then while posting a transactions, you are going to specify a posting date. Just assume guys here right now, isn't it? Right now there is nothing much to show because multiple settings are not done yet. But don't worry, these all things I'll explain once again. Uh, Practically, in the sense, practically we are going to create this fiscal year variant, right? But this testing is not possible. Why? Because in order to post a transactions, we need to have certain basic settings, right? So those settings, once it is completed, then we'll post the transactions. And once again, I'll repeat all these things and I'll show you, so that you'll be having 100% clarity. Okay. Now, still whatever I am explaining, on this one also clarity will be there, don't worry. Now, and later once again it is going to be repeated, okay, with more example. Like when we post the transactions, then you'll be having some more clarity. Now, so posting date we have given. So this is the date. This is your date, month, and year. It depends like which format you are going to follow, whether it is DD, MM, YY, right? Or is like MM, DD, YY. So that is different formats are there. It's okay. So here date, month, and year. Let's suppose this is the format. Okay. So here date, month, and year. So SAP is going to check which month. 08. 08 means what, guys? 08 means it is August. Okay. So which fiscal year we are using? Let's suppose TX is our fiscal year, financial year, right? Fiscal year variant. So in TX, we have defined that we are going to use non-calendar year. How SAP will come to non-calendar year, guys? So if you apply a check mark here, then it is calendar year. If you don't apply a check mark, guys, then what is happening? It means it is non-calendar year. And when you define a non-calendar year, then what happened, guys? In that case, you need to specify here certain details. What are the details? That I'll tell you. Okay. So it means if you are going to define a non-calendar year, that we have to specify. Non-calendar means, guys, April to March is a non-calendar, July to June is a non-calendar, October to September is a non-calendar, right? So here, April to March we are going to follow. So how SAP will come to know whether we are going to follow April to March or July to June? Or so while defining this, like this variant, here descriptions we have given, right? So I'll tell you guys, no matter whatever descriptions you have given, SAP has nothing to do with the descriptions. By reading out descriptions, SAP will not come to know that whether it is April to March or July to June or October to September. Whatever settings we are going to do here, based on those settings, what happened, guys? SAP will come to know that which fiscal year variant we are using. In the sense, what is our starting period, right? So here April is the first period and March is the last period. So this is how SAP will come to know it is April to March. Okay. So what is the challenge here? Challenge is posting date 9th of August. So August is the month. SAP will check. August means fifth period. August means which period, guys? Fifth period. Now, so SAP is going to check. So with the help of this posting date, what happened? SAP is going to check first of all for which company code transaction is getting posted. It is Tata Motor. For Tata Motor, against Tata Motor, what is the fiscal year variant we have assigned? So let's suppose this is TX. Then in background itself, SAP is going to check what is the setting we have given for TX. So the setting is saying that TX means it is a non-calendar year, and so first period is going to be started from April onwards. Okay, so this is the first period. Now here 8th means August. So August means 5th period. So based on our configuration, SAP will come to know that it is 5th period. So here then SAP is going to check in posting period whether 5th period is open or not. Right? If 5th period is open, then what happens? Then user will be able to post the transaction. If 5th period is not open, user will not be able to post the transaction. In previous session, I have explained, guys, I quoted one example where, like I said, like people are unable to post the transactions. Why? Because the period was closed. Previous period closed, right? So how SAP is going to find out those details? So of course, while posting the transactions, they are giving a posting date. So based on this posting date, SAP is going to check that posting date means 8th period. With the posting date, system is going to find out the month. So it is 8th month, right? Means August. Against August, which period? 5th period. We are using, let's suppose, non-calendar year. So 5th period. So whether 5th is open or not, based on that, what happened, guys? SAP is going to allow them to post the transactions or disallow them to post the transactions. Okay, here it is fine. Now let's suppose I set the scenario number 2. Posting date is, let's suppose, 10th of December 2022. So here what happened, guys? 10th of December. 12 means December as per our calendar year. See, posting dates we are going to, because if you talk about user, we are totally habituated of calendar years and calendar date only, right? So while posting the transactions, we are going to use the date as per calendar year. But what happened, guys? SAP is going to convert this into non-calendar year as per our configurations. As per our configurations. Okay, I'll tell you guys, it is pretty simple. Just focus on this, and I'll quote other example also. This is how, because during interview, when somebody is going to ask a questions, I have seen multiple in the sense 95% of the people are unable to what do you say answer the questions, even though it is going to be basic questions I'm talking about. Why? Because everybody know the configurations, right? People are going to spend hardly 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 3 minutes on posting period variant, 5 minutes on fiscal year variant, 5 minutes on other settings and all, right? So it means they know how to set up this, isn't it? But when you are going to do how to set up and all, it is not going to make you a perfect consultant. We need to know why to set up this, right? And when I have to explain why, it takes time. Look at here. Now, so here 12th period, in the sense posting date 10th of December. December means 9th period. Based on our setting, SAP will come to know it is 9th period. So if 9th period is open, then SAP is going to allow. And 9th period, and which year, guys? Year is 2022 only. Fiscal year is 2022 itself. So here 22 and here also 22. Where is the challenge? Here is the challenge. Third example. Now let's suppose this transaction is going to be posted on which date? So let's suppose 15th of January or 1st of January, any example, guys, 15th of January, or let's suppose like 1st of January itself. Now we have, as per calendar, in the sense calendar year, it is when you post a transaction on 1st of January onwards, right? So 1st of January 2023. So here is the challenge. What is the challenge, guys? 01. 01 means what, guys? 01 means January. So January equals to which period? January equals to 10th period, right? So 10th period we are going to open. But now here is the problem. Here SAP is confused. Here we have given a year, that is 2023, and here we have given year 2022 itself. So here is the confusion. How SAP will come to know that actually we have given in calendar year we have given 2023, but the actual year is 22 itself, because we are using non-calendar year, and in non-calendar year till March 23, we are in 22 itself, right? That actual 23 is going to be started from 1st of April onwards, right? Till 31st of March 2023, we are in 22 itself, because calendar year, sorry, non-calendar year we are using, right? Non-calendar year, so certain periods are falling. Look at here in 22, and remaining 3 months is going to fall under 23, right? As per calendar year. But non-calendar year means these three also is the part of 22 itself, right? So here is the challenge. When in this one, SAP is going to check. Period 08 means August, right? August means fifth period. And which year? 2022. So here 2022. 12th means ninth period, 2022. So here ninth we are going to give, here ninth, and here 22. Here is the problem. January is the 10th period. So 10th we have given. But year is given 2023, and here we are going to specify 22 only. Why? Because still 22 itself is running. Okay, still 22 itself is running. We have not entered in 23. So that is why what is happening, guys, we are not going to specify 23, right? When we are going to open 23, guys, when you post a transaction, let's suppose when the posting date is 01/04/2023, right? So here what is happening, guys, this is where the new year is started. Actually, on this date onwards, 23 is going to be started. Before this one, what is happening, guys? Before this one, we are in 22 itself. That is why when you talk about like banks or organizations, right? When you go to the banks and all, let's suppose people says that you just do one thing, come after some time, because right now we are very much busy in March closing, right? What is this March closing, guys? March closing means lots of financial transactions, and then their workloads are going to be increased, guys, because they have to maintain their books of account, and multiple like adjustments are going to be, like some extra activities are going to be done. They have to prepare the financial statement also, right? So multiple activities are going to be performed by those people. That is why they'll be a bit busy. So now here what is happening, guys? In March it is ended, and April 2023 onwards, new year is going to be started. So here what I said, guys, here, so on 1st of January 2023, so here 23 and here 22, right? So there is a conflict between the posting date, the year which we have given in posting date, and the year which we have given here, right? So for that, what is happening, guys? For that we are having a setting called, I'll just do one thing. Okay, so for that we are having a setting called, that is called year shift. Year shift. Okay, I'll tell you guys. This one you have to understand. Right? This is why I have given this much example. What is the logic behind year shift, right? And when people are going to ask the questions, they will not ask simply definitions. They'll quote an example, and then they will say, you tell me now what is going to be year shift here, right? 95% of the people are going to shut down their mouth, because first of all, you must be having understanding, then only you can specify a perfect year shift. If you don't have understanding, nothing will happen. Okay. Everybody just be on mute. Certain noise is coming. Okay. So year shift, right? What is the use of year shift, guys? Here, I'll quote certain example. In the sense, right now I have given one example. In next session also I have to give some more examples so that you guys will be having perfect understanding about this year shift. Multiple times this is asked by people. Now let's have a look. So year shift means what, guys? Now, so here in April month we are having year shift. I'll quote this example, then I'll wrap up the session, and remaining example I'll explain in next session. So here April is the first period, and we are in 2022 right now, 2022. So year shift will be 0. Okay, 0. So till April till December, April till December, year shift is 0. Okay. Now what happened? How SAP is going to check? How SAP is going to check? So when your posting date is 9th of August 2022, SAP is going to check which period? So August equals to 5th period, right? And 2022. So 2022, here August is 5th period, right? 5th period. And then this year 2022. So SAP is going to, what is the fiscal year here? In the sense, what is the year? 22. 22 plus year shift 0. So 22 plus 0, what is happening, guys? 22. Again, posting date 10th of December. So here what is happening, guys? December. So December means 12th, and 12th is the 9th. In the sense, December is 9th period here. So 9th period, right? Okay. And year is 22. So why? System is first of all 22 we have opened. So how SAP will come to know? Here also 22 is there. So 22 plus year shift. Always system is going to check here posting date, the year of this posting date plus year shift. And then SAP is going to count. So 22 plus 0, 22 itself. So here 22 is open or not? Yes, it is open. Here is the problem. So first, in the sense, January is the 10th period. So 10th period, right? 10th period we have opened. And year is 23. But actually we are in 22 itself. That is why I have opened 22. So how SAP will come to know? Actually, it is not 23. We are in 22 itself. So year shift is going to be changed. And here we are going to specify -1, -1, -1. Okay. This is just a mathematical calculations, guys. Try to understand this logic. Nothing, it has nothing to do with your account and finance skill. Okay, if somebody is thinking that it's like creating bit confusion because I'm not from finance account background, then no, this is just an excuse. Okay, try to understand. I'll quote another example also, right? Because here itself I have seen multiple times people have given different scenario, and then they are saying that you tell me as a SAP consultant what year shift you are going to give, right? So there itself most of the people are going to be failed, right? Because first of all, like correct year shift you have to, and of course this April to March is a very famous example, guys. Of course it is quoted by multiple people. So -1 is known by lots of people, right? But are we having other year shift? Yes, we are having another year shift also. How many people are going to know? Hardly 2%, right? So I'll quote that example also. That's what. Next, I'll be asking to you people only. In the sense, this is how the session is going to be interactive, right? And your understanding is also going to increase. Okay. So what I said here, 23. So 23. So 23 plus year shift. So 23 plus -1. So plus minus minus, right? If you multiply plus and minus, plus minus minus, this is mathematical calculations. So plus minus minus. Now 23 minus 1 is going to be 22. So 22 is open or not? Yes. So this is how, with the help of year shift, what will happen? SAP will come to know that what is the what is the fiscal year. So even though we are in 22, 23 right now, again, let's suppose 5th of February if you are going to post a transaction. So it is 23, 23, right? So 2nd February means what, guys? 11th period is going to be open, and here the year will be 22 itself because we are in still 2022 itself, but here 23. So 23 plus year shift. So 23 minus 1. Once again 23 minus 1, 22 itself, right? So there'll be a huge of year shift. Okay, I'll just do one thing, guys. I'll quote some more example to give you a perfect clarity here so that you guys will be having perfect understanding. Okay, but that I'll explain in next session. So that's all in this session, guys.
I want to know just authorization group used for what, which purpose? It is used for end user or it is used for restriction for consultant?
Okay. Now, so authorization group, the use I have already explained in the previous session here. Now here, authorization group is of course like it is going to be used by end user itself. End user means certain control. I said that posting period. We are having posting period like let's suppose at right now we are having like which period is there. So it is 5th period as per non-calendar year. Now we'll take example of non-calendar year, guys, in the previous session to have a perfect understanding. That is why I quoted calendar year, right? Okay. So it's okay, guys. If anybody like let's suppose if somebody is having query or somebody is having time, you can stay here, or is like if anybody is getting delay, then you can exit also. Now here, this is so 5th period, right? Right now we are in 5th period. Okay. So authorization group means what, guys? I have explained like we are having period 1, then we are having period 2 also, right? Okay. So generally, if there is any requirement from a candidate, let's suppose somebody is saying that open the previous period, right? Let's suppose open the previous period. So open the previous period means what is happening, guys? So in that case, what organized previous period means 4th period, right? Okay. Now here, authorization group. Okay. So what happened? So let's suppose here, like this is your posting period. Okay. Now, so 4th period supposed to be open, right? 4th period supposed to be open. So generally what happened? There is, I have quoted the example that 3 friends are there, A, B, and C. Okay, these things I have already explained in the previous session, but still I'm just explaining here. So A, B, and C. Now what is happening? So A has requested to open which period? 4th period. So what happened, guys? From management side, it's pretty simple. So now here, let's suppose nothing is there right now. From period 2, this is from period 2. So A has requested to open the previous period. It depends upon the managers. If like whoever is going to maintain this posting period, right? That person. So that person can open the 4th period here. So if 4th period is open here, then previous period is also open and current period is also open. Okay. So if it is going to be open here, there is no use of authorization group. Authorization group is going to put further restrictions, right? We have open 4th period, we have open 5th period also. It means 2 periods are open for every users. But now managers are a bit clever. They know that like let's suppose this A has approached that open the previous period, right? So if they want to restrict this previous period only for this user, in that case, what will happen? With the help of basis consulting, what authorization group is going to be created. Let's suppose authorization group is going to be created. Let's suppose this is the code. And against this authorization group, what is happening, guys? Against this authorization group, certain user IDs are going to be like, let's suppose this ID is assigned. Okay, so what is happening for this authorization group? What ID we have given? Like ID of A, user ID of A. Okay, in that case, what is happening? I'm just, because multiple things are there, guys. When you talk about authorization group, like as I said, like basis involvement will be there. So practically, it is not possible to execute and it is not possible to show. But I have seen sometimes people have asked during interview these questions. So at least you must be having some idea, right? That is why. And the in upcoming classes, the more clarity you guys will be having. Don't worry. So what happened? Authorization group is created, and when the authorization group is going to be created, then from period 1 will be reserved for this authorization group. So here the fourth period is going to be open, and here fifth period is going to be open. Okay. So now here what is happening? Now here what is happening? Okay. So fourth period and fifth period. So this fourth period is restricted for this authorization group only. Fourth period is restricted for this authorization group. And fifth period for every user. Okay. Fifth period is for every user. If you don't give the authorization group, then what will happen, guys? In that case, fourth period and fifth period both are for every users, right? If you have given an authorization group here, then what is happening, guys? Authorization group means this is restricted for authorization group only, right? So SAP is going to check which authorization group it is XYZ. Against this authorization group, which user ID is assigned? So user ID A. It means only A will be able to post the transaction into previous period. Remaining B, C, D, whichever the other users are there, even though they know that previous period is open, still those people will not be able to post the transactions for the fourth period until unless what is happening? Until unless their user IDs are also going to be assigned here against this authorization group. So authorization group is what, guys? Authorization group is putting some additional restrictions. Okay, it is putting some additional restrictions, or it is providing some additional control where you can open the period or posting period even user wise also, right? For one user or for a group of user, right? When I say only A, it means only one user ID is assigned. It means for one user. Group of user means A also is there, B also is there, right? C also is there, D also is there. So of course it becomes group of user, right? So authorization group means what? What is the use of authorization group? It is going to restrict the periods for a particular user or for a group of user. This is what the use of this authorization group. Now here, so who is going to use? Again, this is one time setup. It is going to be done by basis, but it can be used by those end user only, in the sense managers or TLs. Even these people are also end users only, right? So they are going to use this one.
Okay, so I understood.
Okay. Okay, now there is, okay, this is not a question. I think it is answered. Fiscal year variant is prepared to financial position of the company. See, fiscal year variant, of course, financial position in the sense, like if you talk about financial statement, right? So financial statement, of course, it is a different configurations. As I said, like this is going to be explained later. Before that, multiple topics are going to be explained. But when you prepare a financial statement, right? When you talk about financial statement, this is going to be prepared. So for which year, right? So like that's what I'm saying. So that is like later we are going to explain, and later we are going to discuss. Right now, first of all, which financial year is going to be used, whether it is calendar year or non-calendar year, right? That is the matter of discussions. So how SAP will come to know we are going to use calendar year or non-calendar year? That is the confusion, right? So for that, we have to define fiscal year variant. So this is a simple definition, guys. What is the use of fiscal year variant? So with the help of fiscal year variant, SAP will come to know whether we are going to use calendar year or non-calendar year, right? But this definition is known by lakhs of people. Everybody knows this definitions, right? If somebody has completed the training in 2 months or 1.5 months, right? You guys are going to complete the same thing in 6 months. So what is the difference between you and those people, right? So generally what happened during interview, people will not ask basic questions. They will never ask the basic questions and all. They will give you a scenario and then they will say, now you tell me as a consultant, what is your opinion on that? Okay. So definition, if somebody feels that, okay, I have mug up like some 100 definitions and now I'm going to crack the interview, it is impossible. When they face the interview, people started asking the questions in form of scenario, right? Now here they will say that, let's suppose I'm going to use April to March, right? April to March. So this is here, like, so certain 3 periods are falling here in next financial year, right? Whereas in posting period variant, next financial year means 3 years, 3 like January, February, March is falling in next calendar year, right? 23. But here, so here if you have, I have to open the posting period, right? So for January, which period is supposed to be? Everybody will say 10th period. And which year? Most of the people are going to be confused. Say 23, somebody will say 22. If somebody says 23, that is wrong answer. They are going to be rejected. If somebody says 22, then again the next question will be there, that while posting a transactions, we are giving a date here, that is 0101 and year is 23. But here the year we have opened 22. So how SAP will come to know that actually it is not 23, it is 22? There will be a conflict, right? So then you have to say that for that we are having another control or another setting called year shift. So which year shift is going to be given? -1, right? Why -1, right? Can you quote one example where year shift is going to be +1? Isn't it? So I'll tell you guys, it is impossible to crack the interview with little knowledge. If you have a perfect knowledge, then only it is going to be, and perfect knowledge means it takes time, right? And it takes too much time. So those things again, so that's what I said, like fiscal year variety is not completed, that we are going to see in next session. Also in next session we'll configure it practically, and even I have to explain some more example here so that you people will be having perfect understanding.